Today I will be reviewing the Black Forest Max fountain pen from Hongdian. This was provided to me for review by EasyBuy on Etsy, so a big thank you to them. But last year I reviewed the standard Black Forest pen, and so many of you commented on how great the Max version was, so I reached out and they were kind enough to provide one for me to show you. So please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that kind of stuff. Please consider becoming a member of this channel, where for a small monthly fee, you'll get priority comments, you'll get members only content, early access to my videos, and once the community's grown a bit, we'll start doing some members only Q&As. But in the meantime, let's check out this really very nice budget-friendly fountain pen from Hongdian. Well, here it is. This is the Forest Max from Hongdian. As I said before, I reviewed the standard version of the Forest here a little while ago, and I've got the brass one of that to review later in the year. So many people said I needed to look at it, and I'm really glad I have. So let's talk about the parts and features of this pen. On the top of the pen, we get, the logo and Hongdian Black Forest. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick that up, but it's all nicely sort of done there. The cap then sort of tapers off there a little bit, which is a very sort of Graf von Faber-Castell-ish feature of the pen. And then it's sort of basically cylindrical. We get another logo engraved just at the bottom of the pen there. And then we get this very nice sort of squared clip with a line running down the center of it. And that is spring-loaded, and it's very nice. It's a really great clip. A little set down onto the barrel, which is textured with these sort of lines that sort of have this interesting sort of overlaid weaving sort of pattern, which is very nice. And then we get a gloss black finish on finial on the end there, and that's a flat end. It is a twist cap, and it comes off in less than a turn. Like, that's awesome. And then you get nice smooth threads that they don't get in the way at all. A simple section that tapers and flares, and then the number 6 Hongdian nib in black here, and this is a medium, and it's very, very nice. It's very fine medium, very, very fine medium, and then the simple plastic bead. You unscrew the barrel of the pen on some squeaky threads there, a little O-ring at the end to keep it secure, and it comes with the standard Hongdian converter, which is that Chinese 3.4mm converter, not the standard is it 2.6 or 2.8mm international size. So if you want to use cartridges on this pen, you are going to have to get the Hongdian, or that size, the 3.4mm size. The pen posts, and it posts quite securely, a little bit back weighted, but it's okay, and it becomes a very nice size. I don't have a problem using this pen unposted. It feels very comfortable in my hand. There's a nice gentle weight to it, and with that number 6 size nib, it feels very ergonomic for long writing sessions. And that's the pen. That is the basics of this pen. It is a very simple pen. I like it quite a lot. Let's now do a quick size comparison. Okay, size comparison has it about the same length as the Lamy Safari, and just a touch longer there than the standard Forest. Now you can see they are slightly different designs. We are not talking about, like just an enlarged version, a slightly different posting mechanism and some different sort of details in like the cap and things like that. As I said, this feels very, very Graf von Faber-Castell-ish. If you know some of the Graf von Faber-Castell pens, you'll see why. But they're all a similar kind of length there. Uncapped, you see a couple of differences here between the standard Forest and the Forest Max. The Forest Max is firstly threaded to cap, so a twist cap as opposed to a snap cap, and has a number 6 size nib as opposed to the smaller nib there on the Forest. It's also a larger section. It feels very comfortable. To me, the Forest Max is a much more comfortable pen. Don't get me wrong, the Forest standard version here, the Black Forest, is a wonderful pen. It feels great in the hand. It's a lovely writer, nice sort of smaller, slim pen, but the Max is wonderful. They all post, and one of the interesting things is that the Forest is actually longer posted than the Forest Max. It posts onto that little sort of post on the end there, if you will, on the finial, and just a little bit longer. So for me, once again, the more comfortable pen here is the Max, but your mileage may vary. You may love the Forest, and that is great. It is a wonderful pen, but if you have the opportunity to check out a Max, it might be a nice thing for you to look at. So what are the dimensions of the Hongdian Forest Max? Well, it is 139 millimeters when it is capped, it's 125 when it's uncapped, and 164 when it's posted. So it's an okay length, it feels okay, just a little bit back weighted. Around the middle of the section is 9.5 millimeters, and the top of the cap is about 14 millimeters. So not a super girthy pen, but a very comfortable standard size. The pen weighs 37 grams, 23 in the body, 14 in the cap, and a lot of that weight is at the back. So you do feel the cap on there, but it's not uncomfortable, just maybe slightly, ever so slightly off balance. And in terms of that weight difference, 37 grams, as I said, for the Max, 29 for the original Forest. So there's a little bit of extra weight in your hand as well. All right, let's do a writing sample with the Hong. A couple of little like hard skips, but that's I think more to do with the fact that I've had the pen uncapped for a while I've been reviewing it. Hongdian Forest Max. This is a steel, roughly number 6 size nib in a medium, which writes very fine for the sake of the exercise. One of my other pens I'm reviewing at the moment is the Bennu Tribute here, which is also a medium. It's also running out of ink. You can see though, the difference in the line width there is noticeable. So this is a fine medium for sure. The ink in this one is Diamine Bilberry. I don't know why we're suddenly getting so many hard starts on this. It's written beautifully. Let's get you some writing. It really is a beautiful pen to write with. It gives an interesting, like, it's not stub-like or architect-like, but there seems to be like just a little nice something, personality to the writing, and it writes quite wet. Like that ink is really getting some sheen on it. I'm not sure if the camera is going to pick that up particularly well, but it's sheening a lot. Reverse writing, very smooth, easily get a few words out or do some like hatching if you're drawing with it or something like that. Let's do a little bit of quick writing. So once again, we saw one little like lift there. Not super characteristic of the pen in my experience. You know, I've written with this pen quite a lot and not had a whole lot of issues with it. The fact that it's relatively fine medium has meant that I've been able to write with it in like my grid planners and things like that. And it's been very, very reliable. Like you can see ever so slight, like I don't know why it's doing that hard starting. That's very strange. But very, very slight, perhaps like thinner downstroke, very, very slightly. It is noticeable if you look into writing, and as a left-handed writer, this is going to come out more for me perhaps than for you. But yes, it's a really, really nice pen. I like writing with it. These interesting little like skips and hard starts and things are not normal. I have not experienced that. I don't know why it's doing that right now. You know, nothing seems to be, just the way these things go. But I've used this pen a lot. I've enjoyed writing with it. It's very smooth, nice and wet. And as I said, for me, it gives me a nice little bit of shape to my writing. Okay, business time. What does it cost? Well, I jumped on AliExpress today. I jumped on Etsy. I jumped on a few different sort of sites. And you can easily find this pen for around the $35 to $40 mark, give or take. So it's super affordable. You know, I was sent this pen by Etsy, easy buy on Etsy. And so I will link to, you know, to their page down below, but, or to the best website to buy it, down below. It's a beautiful pen. It looks great. Yes, it is derivative, but at this price point, you're getting a pen that is going to be, you know, a reliable writer. So what are the pros and cons? Well, I'm not going to count the skipping and in that writing sample as a con because I haven't experienced that before today. Your mileage may vary, yours may skip all the time, in which case please put it in the comments so we can all learn here. But for me, like 99% of my writing has been absolutely flawless with this pen. The only thing I will say is that you do notice the weight on the back when you post the pen. It's very comfortable. I can absolutely write with this posted, but you do notice the weight on the back. So what are the pros? Well, firstly, I think the nib, like, as I said, 99% of the time is beautiful, smooth. It's got a nice, interesting shape to it. It's great. I think the price is fantastic. I really, really like the clip. I think it's functional and aesthetically to my sort of taste. And I love this all blacked out stealth look, including that patterning on the barrel. I think the combination of the sort of more slightly glossy, not super glossy, you know, black metallic elements, and then that sort of more, I don't even know what material that is. Is it like a rubbery, plasticky kind of overlay? But with that patterning in it, it's just really, really interesting and really nice. This is a pen that is good value. It is slightly derivative, yes, but it's good value. It writes really, really well. And if you're a fan of the standard Black Forest fountain pen from Hongdian, maybe consider checking out the Forest Max. It's slightly bigger relation, shall we say. There's enough to make it similar and enough to make it a unique pen in its own right, not just a bigger version of the Forest. So that was the Hongdian Black Forest Max. A really solid EDC pen for those who want something just a little bit bigger than the standard Forest pen. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it interesting and useful. As I said, please like and subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and please consider becoming a member of the channel. Another big thank you to EasyBuy on Etsy, links and everything in the video description, for providing this pen for me to show you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.